Okay, here's a thought. If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. Hmm. Does that ring true for you? Do you ever feel like you're constantly pulled in, I don't know, a million different directions, trying to do way too much and maybe not achieving much of anything?
Oh, absolutely. That old Russian proverb, it really hits home today, doesn't it? That's like we're drowning in noise, options, endless lists. It leaves you feeling totally overwhelmed and pretty ineffective sometimes.
Well, you've tuned into the Success Happiness channel, and if you're looking for a simpler, maybe clearer way to unlock some real potential, whether that's in your work, your health, even relationships, then yeah, you are definitely in the right place. Welcome to this book talk.
We are diving into a really fascinating book today. The One Thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. It's by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan.
Right, and Gary Keller, he's known as his master teacher, right?
Right.
Built the big real estate company in North America. And how? Mostly by teaching people how to, well, simplify their thinking, radically simplify it.
Exactly. And he and Jay Papasan basically distilled that whole approach down into this one incredibly powerful idea.
And their goal, it seems, is just that, radical simplification, showing that the absolute fastest way to get, extraordinary results is through intense focus, extreme focus.
So our mission here today is really to unpack that for you, give you that method so you can maybe stop chasing all those rabbits, like the proverb says, and actually start catching the one thing that truly makes a difference.
Let's get into it then. Their core idea, going small.
Yeah, and it sounds completely backward, doesn't it? We're always told success means juggling 10 things at once.
Right, hustle culture.
Exactly. But they argued the complete opposite. That huge success, the really big breakthroughs, they come from narrowing your focus down, way down, to just one thing.
That feels so counter to the daily grind. We're taught the person putting in the longest hours, juggling the most tasks, that's the winner.
But Keller noticed in his own life, where he had massive success, he'd narrowed his focus right down, laser focus. And where things were just, okay, kind of mediocre, his focus was spread thin, diluted.
So it's about finding that leverage point.
Precisely. And the way you apply this focus, the mechanism, is what they call the domino effect. This is key. They stress that extraordinary success is sequential. It happens one step after another, not all at once.
Sequential, not simultaneous. So it's not about just working harder on everything.
No, it's about setting up the right first domino, the one that starts a chain reaction.
And the power of that first step.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of mind-blowing when you look at their example. They use this illustration of geometric progression. How a single domino can knock over another one that's 50% bigger.
Yeah. And if you keep that going, the results just explode exponentially. I mean, they calculate that the 23rd domino in that chain, it would be taller than the Eiffel Tower.
Wow.
And the 31st domino would tower over Mount Everest by like almost 3,000 feet.
That's incredible. So that kind of scale, turning one small, focused action into something world-changing, that's the power you're tapping into when you find your one thing.
That's it. Success builds on success. And that singular focus, that's the blueprint for making it happen.
And it's not just theory, is it? They point out that success leaves clues. You see this pattern everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about companies. KFC, built on one thing, that secret chicken recipe, Intel. Their massive success really comes down to focusing on microprocessors.
It holds for individuals, too. Walt Disney, in the early days, relied heavily on one person, his brother Roy, handling the business side, the money stuff.
Or Oprah Winfrey. Her financial independence really came from listening to one person, her lawyer, Jeffrey Jacobs, who convinced her to start Harpo Productions instead of just being, talent for hire.
Huge difference.
Massive. And even a passion or a skill can be that one thing. They mentioned Gilbert Tuabonia, the runner from Burundi. His singular skill, running, literally saved his life. That extreme focus, it just creates extraordinary outcomes.
Okay, so to really embrace this idea of the one thing, we kind of have to confront some common beliefs, they call them lies about success that trip us up.
Right. These myths that we've all sort of absorbed. The first big one they tackle is the lie that everything matters equally.
Ah, the tyranny of the to-do list.
Exactly. We all live by these long, sprawling lists. They call it a survival list, not a success list. You check off easy, low-value stuff, you feel busy, but you're not actually moving the needle on what really counts.
So the problem isn't the list itself, maybe, but the assumption that item #1 is just as important as item #27.
Precisely. We have to get that effort, and results are not distributed equally. That's why they bring in the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. You need a success list. You're hunting for the vital few tasks, the 20% of actions that will give you 80% of your desired results.
Can't treat the small stuff the same as the big movers.
You just can't afford to. Think about their guitar example. If you've only got, say, 20 minutes a day to practice, focusing only on the minor blues scale, just that one thing, could unlock the ability to play tons of classic rock solos. Because that scale is foundational. That's leverage.
That makes sense? And that leads right into the next lie, doesn't it?
That's it.
Lie number 2, multitasking.
Yeah, yes, the siren song of multitasking. It feels so productive, right? Because you're physically doing two things.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. You cannot effectively focus on two complex things at the same time.
Okay, let's clarify. We know you can, fold laundry while listening to a podcast. That's low-level stuff.
Right, batching simple tasks is fine, smart even. But we're talking about trying to do serious, high-focus work simultaneously, like writing a detailed proposal while trying to keep up with email notifications. That's where it falls apart.
Why? What's happening in the brain?
Well, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for focus and decision-making, it can really only shine its spotlight on one complex task effectively. When you try to split that focus, you split the quality of the outcome, and the cost is huge. Research shows workers get interrupted, every 11 minutes?
Wow.
And they spend almost a third of their day just recovering from those distractions, getting back on track.
That driving analogy they used was really powerful, too. Just having a hands-free phone call while driving. It takes a 40% chunk out of your focus.
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah. That's like driving drunk, essentially. And the point is, your most important work, your one thing, deserves that same level of undivided attention we'd expect from a pilot landing a plane or a surgeon in the operating room. Don't shortchange it.
Okay, focus is key. Don't multitask important stuff.
Yeah.
Got it. What's the third lie?
The third lie is willpower is always on will call. This one trips up so many people trying to improve themselves. We think willpower is this heroic trait we can just summon whenever we need it.
But it's not.
No. Think of willpower like a muscle, or maybe better, like the battery on your phone. It's limited, it's finite, it gets depleted throughout the day with use. It does recharge, usually with rest, but it's not an endless supply.
That famous marshmallow test really showed that, didn't it? Kids who could delay gratification use their willpower ended up doing much better later in life. Their SAT scores were significantly higher.
Yeah, 210 points higher on average. That ability to manage impulse, which requires willpower, is a massive predictor of future success. Willpower is literally the engine for achieving long-term goals.
And it gets drained by really small things, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Tiny decisions chip away at it. They cite research where just asking students to memorize a 7-digit number, a small cognitive load, made them almost twice as likely to choose chocolate cake over fruit salad afterwards.
Seriously, just remembering 7 numbers.
Yep. That little bit of mental effort depleted their willpower enough that they couldn't make the better choice later.
So the big takeaway here for you, the listener, is crucial then. Timing matters. A lot.
Absolutely. Since willpower is like that phone battery, you need to manage it strategically. Do your most important work, your one thing, the task that requires the most focus and discipline when your willpower battery is fully charged.
Which for most people is usually.
Usually earlier in the day, before the barrage of decisions and demands drains it down.
Okay, so if we can ditch those lies that everything matters equally, that multitasking works, and that willpower is infinite, then the path clears up. And it leads to their main tool, right?
Exactly. Once you've cleared away the clutter, you need direction. And that comes from the focusing question. This is the compass.
I like Andrew Carnegie's blunt advice that, quote, don't put all your eggs in one basket. He said, put all your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. And the focusing question tells you which basket to watch and what to do with it. Here's the full formula, and it's worth really absorbing what's the one thing I can do, and then you add a time frame like right now or this week or this year, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary.
That last part is the powerhouse, isn't it? Such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. That's the leverage test.
It really is. It forces you to identify the first domino, the lead domino, the one that, once you knock it over, makes a whole bunch of other tasks either simpler or just completely irrelevant.
Most people don't think that way, do they? We just see the huge list of everything. We don't realize that doing one specific thing first could actually eliminate half the list.
Exactly. And this question pushes you to ask big questions. And specific ones. Don't just ask, what can I do to improve sales? That's too vague. It leads to easy, doable answers.
So instead, you should ask,
Ask something big and specific, like, what's the one thing I can implement right now that will double our sales conversion rate in the next 6 months? See the difference?
yeah, that demands a much bigger, more thought-out answer, a possibility answer, as they call it, something you might have to research or invent, not just pull off the shelf.
Right. Great questions force you to find great answers, answers that stretch you beyond your current capabilities or knowledge.
And this whole approach connects the big picture to the
Ah.
immediate action through what they call goal setting to the now.
Mm-hmm. This is how you line up all the dominoes perfectly. It connects your ultimate, maybe far off vision all the way down to the single most important task you need to do today, right now.
Let's walk through that quickly, maybe make it concrete for everyone listening. Say your huge someday goal is, I don't know, running a super successful online leadership coaching business. Big dream.
Okay, big goal. So, using the focusing question cascade, to achieve that someday, what's the one thing you absolutely must accomplish in the next 5 years?
Uh-huh. Maybe develop and get funding for a really high-end corporate training program.
Sounds like a key domino.
Okay,
So, to achieve that 5-year goal, what's the one thing you need to get done this year?
maybe. Secure 3 solid pilot clients to test the program and get testimonials.
Good. Getting specific. Now, this month, what's the one thing needed for that?
Refine the pitch deck for those clients and build a target list of maybe 20 top corporate contacts
Excellent, getting closer. Now, this week.
this week. Maybe schedule one really in-depth call with a friendly CEO to validate the program idea and the pricing before I pitch it widely.
Perfect. See how specific it's getting? And finally, what's the one thing you can do right now to make that week's goal happen?
Write the email script to request that validation call.
Boom! There it is. You just connected a massive, potentially overwhelming someday dream directly to one single manageable action you can take right now. That's lining up the dominoes.
And that process, going from someday down to now, it fights that tendency we all have to just take the small, easy win now instead of working towards the huge payoff later.
Exactly. It keeps the focus squarely on the most important priority in the present, knowing it's directly linked to that big future reward.
Wow. So it really is about lifting the limits on your thinking first. Focus expands what's possible. It just clears the path forward.
It really does. And when you commit to finding and doing that one thing, you're essentially choosing faith over fear. They use that wonderful Cherokee parable.
Oh, the one about the 2 wolves inside us.
Yeah. One wolf is fear bringing anxiety, doubt, inaction. The other is faith bringing confidence, courage, action.
And the grandson asks the grandfather, which wolf wins?
And the grandfather says, the one you feed. Asking the focusing question, identifying your one thing, and then taking action on it. That is feeding the wolf of faith every single time.
That's a powerful way to think about it. Action born from focus.
And ultimately, the authors suggest this leads to living a life with fewer regrets. They mention wisdom from people nearing the end of life. The biggest regrets often come from not living true to oneself, not pursuing what mattered most.
So living a life guided by purpose, driven by priority, and made real through productivity.
Mm.
That's where success and happiness naturally follow.
That seems to be the core message.
So we really want to encourage you, everyone listening, take this idea seriously. Apply the focusing question to your own life. Maybe even pause right after this. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary?
Go find that first domino. See what happens when you knock it over.
Thank you so much for joining us for this book talk on the one thing.
We really hope this discussion sparks something for you, helps you on your path to achieving what matters most.
Absolutely. And hey, be sure to subscribe to the Success Happiness channel. We'll have more talks, more discussions like this, all designed to help you simplify your path and reach your greatest potential. Thanks for listening.